Okay, so today we see some stabilization, we see the SPY maintaining the bullish bias, and this is very nice because at least we are avoiding a sharper correction. Yesterday I did warn you guys about the idea of a possible head and shoulders chart pattern, right? But today we see the price stabilizing more, making this rejecting the idea of a head and shoulders and making a possible bullish flag chart pattern, which is, in theory, more often than not, a bullish continuation chart pattern. And this idea is reinforced by the fact that we are maintaining the price above the support levels we described yesterday in yesterday's video. So let's see what this means, what to expect next, and of course, what we are gonna do next with this information. My name is Nathan. Welcome to the Finance Hydra channel, where we study the market every single day together. No bias, no guesswork, no assumptions, no gut feelings. Here, we only observe the technical evidence. We only follow the technique, strategy, and risk management. So let's see what's going on right now with the SPY ETF, because on the daily chart, we avoided the idea of a pullback. As I warned you guys yesterday, the 679 was our major support level. If we saw the SPY losing this key point again, especially closing below it on the daily chart, then okay, we may see a sharper correction ahead, maybe to the 675, maybe to the 21-day EMA. We have a few support levels down here that could hold SPY's price if a pullback materializes, but for now, we are maintaining the price above our short-term support levels. On the 1-hour chart, we avoided the idea of a head and shoulders. This head and shoulders was not triggered at any moment, and this reinforces our trading philosophy. I always tell you guys, trading is reactive, not predictive. We don't know if our patterns are going to play out or not. Therefore, we always wait for confirmation. We always wait for the price to lose the main inflection points I describe to you guys in detail every single day on this channel. So we saw the SPY holding above this key point, not losing this line in any moment, okay? We failed to close below this line over here. Therefore, no pullback materialized. Now we see just some stabilization. This 21-hour EMA is acting as a support level again, right? So making this a double support level. So, okay, it looks quite promising. Now, there is the idea of a bullish flag, okay, as we can see right here, right? Do you see? That's a bullish flag. It's we see a stabilization after an insane rally. So that's the flag's pole, and that's the actual flag, okay? How do we trade a bullish flag? We gotta wait for a clear breakout of the flag's high. As I teach you guys on our masterclass video, we gotta wait for the breakout of this key point. Why? Because then we're gonna have confirmation. Yes, in theory, more often than not, a bullish flag is a bullish continuation chart pattern. But it's not a rule, okay? We may lose this support level. We still may lose a downwards breakout. It is unlikely, but this could happen. Okay, we could be wrong, all right? There is no problem in being wrong, okay? But if we lose this support level, SPY is going to probably materialize the pullback to its medium-term support levels, as we can see on the daily chart. Okay, so this is gonna be our next support level. Is SPY still above the 679? Yes. So, okay. However, we still gotta see a breakout of the 683 in order to materialize a real bullish flag over here, suggesting another retest of the all-time high at 689. So guys, for now, what are our main inflection points? We still see the 679 as we identified yesterday. This key point is still valid, and we have a new key point, 683. Let's say You are going to tell me, Nathan, I am bearish, okay? I believe SPY is going to collapse. We are not going to sustain this movement. All right, buddy, 679 is the key point you want to see SPY losing to confirm a bearish case, at least to our next support level on the daily chart. But be aware, SPY is bullish right now, is in bullish territory. That's not my opinion. Again, remember, my videos are never about my opinions, okay? It's about facts. Why are we bullish? Because SPY is first above the 21-day EMA. We just broke the previous resistance level. I know there is no clear higher high, higher low yet, but on the 1-hour chart we see higher highs, higher lows. What's more, on the weekly chart, we just made a pullback to the 21 weekly moving average, and right now, last week we saw another bottom signal, which is an above the stomach candlestick pattern, okay? A classic bullish candle reinforcing the bullish case on the weekly chart as well. On the weekly chart, at any moment, we lost the 21 weekly moving average. On the weekly chart, at any moment, we start doing lower highs, lower lows. So long-term wise, we are still bullish. On the daily chart, we are back in bullish territory. On the 1-hour chart, we are also bullish above the 21-hour EMA. So do you see? We are still bullish, but only the loss of the 679 could bring something new. Okay, and excuse me, I'm blind today. So sorry, guys. Here, much better. Now, let's say you are bullish. Okay, Nathan? I still see SPY maintaining the bullish bias over here. After all, we are in bullish territory. All right, 683, it's the key point you want to see SPY breaking to confirm another rally at least to the next resistance level, which is the all-time high, 689. Deal? Now, very simple situation. QQQ. And this is why the bullish case looks slightly stronger, because although SPY is still not there yet, we see QQQ breaking and closing above last week's high. As we can see on the weekly chart, we see the very same above the stomach candle pattern above the 21 weekly moving average. Okay, maintaining the long-term bullish bias, higher highs, higher lows, blah, 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 etc. You know it, right? Now, today, we are breaking and closing above last week's high, so that's very bullish. QQQ is more bullish than the SPY, suggesting that tech stocks are performing better right now. If you ask me, we are heading towards the 629. Why, Nathan? Because 629 is this gap over here. Gaps work as magnets for the price when trends reverse. Previously, we were bearish, making lower highs, lower lows. Now, we broke the previous resistance levels. We are back above the 21-day EMA, and we are making higher highs, higher lows right now, if you ask me, above the 613, which, as I told you guys yesterday, 613 is our main inflection point. See how yesterday we respected this support level so nicely? It's because the polarity shifted over here. This key point was a previous resistance level, support level, and support level again. Okay? Principle of polarity in technical analysis, previous resistance levels are going to work as future support levels and vice versa. So this is very technical, this is very expected. Only the loss of the 613 could bring a sharper correction ahead. What's more, by losing the 613, QQQ is going to possibly automatically lose the 21-day EMA as well. So we have a double support level here. Don't you agree that if we see the QQQ collapsing from here after all these bullish candles, losing this double support level, don't you agree that that's gonna be quite annoying? A terrible signal for the QQQ. If that happens, okay, only then we may see a sharper correction ahead. Are we still above this critical support level? Yes. So we are maintaining the bullish case. Okay, again, not my opinion, just a fact. It's too cold here. Excuse me. Again. So now what we have here, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, this is so funny, right? This is so funny. The 184, as we have been talking about over the past few months here on this channel, the 184 is working as a major resistance level again, right? It was a resistance level here in July, August, September, right? Support level here in October, double bottom here in October as well, support level here in November last month, support level here multiple times now. After losing this key point, we are finding a resistance level here again. What's more, we see the 21-day EMA reinforcing this key point as a major resistance level. So what's the catch? Because right now, you may say, but Nathan, today's reaction is horrible. I mean, today's candle is a top signal, right? You are totally right. It could be. But it is going to be a real top signal only if we see the loss of today's low, okay? On the 1-hour chart, we still see a sequence of higher highs, higher lows. We are not making lower highs, lower lows yet. What's more, you may say to me, Nathan, I see an inverted head and shoulders. Yes, I see that too. Okay, but either way, we gotta break the 184 to trigger this neckline. All right, to trigger this resistance level, to maintain the bullish bias, only a breakout of the 184 is going to bring something new. So again, right, this is so annoying. I know this is annoying because we have been talking about the 184 for many, many months now. And here we are again, right, talking about the 184. And this, although this is annoying, this only reinforces how our trading methodology is solid. The inflection points we identify, they work very well. They are very solid. The technique respects our inflection points very well. So again, if you want to see NVIDIA exploding, bullish, etc., 184 is the key point. You want to see it breaking. If we see that happening, our next technical resistance level will be 196. But now, in my humble opinion, okay, if we see breakout of the 184, we're going to reach the 200s. Okay, I'm going to set a round number as a target. So let's see. Maybe we're going to break it. Maybe not. If we lose today's low, then okay, we are gonna reverse the short-term bias. Maybe we're gonna reject the idea of a head and shoulders, right? Inverted head and shoulders on the 1-hour chart. Maybe we're gonna avoid this reversal thesis, but either way, we gotta wait for confirmation. All right, and either way, I'll be here every single day to keep you guys updated on our daily videos, all right? We study the market every single day together in this channel. Therefore, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, okay? To keep in touch with our daily studies, all right? Now, we have Tesla, okay? Still in bullish territory. Today, it was quite scary, right? Because we collapsed over here a little bit. We briefly lost the 21-day EMA, but in the end, we stabilized, making almost a doji, right? Okay, that's very nice. What's next for Tesla? Only a real breakout of one of our main inflection points could bring something new. If you ask me on the 1-hour chart, Nathan, what are the main inflection points? Hang on a little bit. On the 1-hour chart, Tesla is still bullish, okay? Why? Because we see higher highs, higher lows above the 21-hour EMA. Very simple. Okay, that's a fact. What could reverse the bullish case on the 1-hour chart? The loss of this key point, 422. Okay, it is almost the neckline of a head and shoulders. Okay, so if we see tomorrow Tesla losing this key point without making a new high, okay, we are gonna make a head and shoulders. All right, triggering a sharper correction, possibly on the daily chart as well. If that happens, we may retest our next support level near the 386. Okay, yes, we have the 400s as a round number, psychological key point, but a technical support level is 386. Okay, conversely, you may say, but Nathan, what if Tesla reacts tomorrow? What if Tesla makes another bullish reaction above this 21-day EMA? That's gonna be actually a bottom signal, right? And you are totally correct, because Tesla, to begin with, Tesla made a double bottom over here, right? Now we see some stabilization after the breakout of this double bottom, and this happens more often than not. Okay, this is very normal, this is very common. Now we gotta break the 439 resistance level. This key point was a support level here, support here, resistance here, right? If we break this key point again, essentially almost nothing can prevent Tesla from reaching our next technical target, which is near the 470s. Okay, so again, what are the main inflection points in Tesla? 422 support level, 439 resistance level. Only a breakout of one of these key points could bring something new. Okay, now let's talk about our dear AMD. AMD is now looking horrible because we see a top signal below the 21-day EMA. Essentially, it looks like AMD. Looks like Nvidia, right? Below the 21-day EMA, below the 184. Okay, they are moving similarly. And that's expected because they are similar companies. But AMD is making a very ugly top signal. This candle pattern has a name. It is a dark cloud cover candle pattern. Okay, right below the 21-day EMA, right below the 227. The previous inflection point we have been talking about for many months now. It was the all-time high from March 2024. We saw some stabilization below this key point after this insane rally. Now, after the breakout, we lost this key point again, and again, it is a resistance level. So we see a very dangerous resistance area up here above today's high. And we see today making a dark cloud cover candle pattern, okay? So that's not good. Is that the end, okay? All hope is lost? No, not yet at least. If we lose today's low, if we close below today's low, then okay, we may reject the idea of another rally, especially because we saw a double bottom on the 1-hour chart, okay? Now we are still stabilizing above the 21-day EMA, but it is too soon to tell. All right, at least in the post market, we are going up. Of course, that doesn't mean too much because we know post market is always too crazy. All right, but we still have some hope to react. We saw many bear traps like this in the past. For instance, I still remember, right? SPY ETF during this mess over here in April. Okay, during Trump's tariffs, all right, the market was going crazy. Everybody was talking about a new collapse, okay, because the global trade was highly impacted, and then we saw a resistance area over here, and then we saw this shooting star candle pattern right after failing to break the 547 right below the 21-day EMA. That was horrible. Here in this channel, I saw many people saying, Nathan, this is crazy, this is horrible, we're gonna collapse, there is no way. Well, there was. Okay, there was. All right, we saw another rally over here. We totally rejected this top signal. So if you ask me, is there still hope for our lady AMD? Yes, there is. Of course there is. We don't know yet. Okay, we don't know. Maybe it is going to react tomorrow. Okay, we can't possibly tell. That's why I always tell you guys, wait for the damn confirmation. Okay, do not assume things. Wait for a clear breakout. Wait for a clear materialization of our signals. Only then you trade. Only then, because guys, if you don't wait for confirmation, it is going to be very hard for you to determine the risk-reward ratio of your trade. Okay, that's why we wait for confirmation, because technical analysis, honestly, is secondary. Okay, risk management is the core skill we all must have. All right, and we use technical analysis to support our decisions, which are based on risk management. We are managers, okay? We manage risk every single day from a statistical point of view, from a technical point of view, from a financial point of view. So we are managers. Traders are nothing more, nothing less than risk managers. Okay, so that's why we wait for confirmation. And guys, honestly, right now we see a horrible signal, but there is still hope. Now, if you ask me, Nathan, what could completely reject any possibility of a bearish case on Lady AMD right now? The breakout of the 227 near the 21-day EMA. Okay, by breaking this double resistance level, we're gonna reject this bearish signal like we saw SPY doing, okay, in April this year. Okay, this is totally acceptable. This is how, and by the way, this is how we avoid bull traps and bear traps as well. Every single trap we avoided over the past few months, we only avoided because we work with a clear strategy of waiting to react properly. Okay, and of course this is how we do. Now, if you ask me, the risk-reward ratio is interesting on AMD, all right? Our previous buy signal was here on September, okay? I gave you guys the signal on our Telegram channel, right? We did a phenomenal trade. We served this rally over here so nicely. Now, if you ask me, it is looking good again. But we gotta see a total rejection of this top signal in order to see AMD flying again. What's more, we are right above the 21 weekly moving average, trying to react. So that's another point. That's why, if you ask me now, in my humble opinion, I am slightly optimistic on AMD. Okay, I see AMD as a promising stock right now, but I understand how annoying this resistance area is. Okay, so we gotta break it as soon as possible, and maybe we're gonna have another phenomenal trade together. All right, now we have Palantir. Palantir hit my personal target today. Okay, my target was right here, 174.57. It hit my target. Now we see another possible top signal. We are losing momentum again. I gave you guys the buy signal here on this Friday, November 21. Why? Well, quite obvious. Bottom signal, hammer candle pattern above a classic support level. Okay, so classic buying opportunity. We sold right here. Again, I gave you guys the call on our Telegram channel. You can join us over there. Okay, join our Telegram channel. Totally free to try. You have 7 days, nothing to lose. I give you guys every single day signals, strategies. Every single trading idea is based on technique. I offer the entry point. I tell you the entry point, why we are buying, the stop loss, the target. Every single trade has good risk-reward relationship. So even if we are wrong, we're gonna lose a little. If we are right, we can make a lot. So that's how I teach you guys to maximize your profits while mitigating your losses, trading strategically. And we do that every single day on our channel. We have literally hundreds of traders over there learning to make money every single day, learning how to become consistently profitable traders. So you are invited to join our community live. We do live streams every single Monday, so you can talk to me. Okay, I can answer your questions. It is always a pleasure to see you guys over there. So join our Telegram channel. The link is below in the description of this video. Okay, right here below in this video's description. All right, so yes, it hit our target. Now, okay, we are losing momentum, but I don't care. Even if we are going up, I would not care as well because we did our trade. It was a phenomenal trade. Now is the time to sell for swingy trading purposes. Nathan, I want to hold for a longer period of time. Maybe your idea makes sense. After all, we are making a bottom signal above the 21 weekly moving average. And we are triggering this bottom signal right now. So, of course, it could make sense. But in order to see a bullish case getting stronger, it's critical to see a clear breakout of the 174. Okay, leaving this 21-day EMA behind below the price. Otherwise, Palantir, maybe it's going to correct a little bit. I'm not saying it's gonna turn bearish because again, on the weekly chart, this is quite difficult to imagine. Okay, right now at least, but it's urgent. Okay, we gotta see a breakout of the 174. If you ask me, I cheer for a breakout. Okay, I want to see Palantir breaking this key point, turning bullish again, and then maybe we're gonna have another buying opportunity. If we don't, okay, that's not a problem. Now we have our dear SoFi as well, right? SoFi doing very well, right? Performing very well. SoFi is another stock that we trade quite often on our Telegram channel. Okay, I don't analyze every single day here on our YouTube channel because I have to analyze other stocks as well. Okay, I have many requests, all right? Like Meta, you guys are always pestering me about Meta. Nathan, please analyze Meta. Please, Meta, please, please. It's my pleasure. I'm gonna analyze Meta today. All right, but guys, now SoFi, let's talk about SoFi first. We see a top signal right now, just like on Palantir. Okay, this means that we're gonna correct? Not yet. We gotta lose today's low to actually make a top signal. If we see that happening, okay, maybe we're gonna see another retest of this 21-day MA. We have many lines right now. Let me clean this chart, okay? I was on a vacation, right? I have to update my charts right now. Okay. We could correct to the 21-day MA, in the worst case scenario to the 26 again, right? But if we don't, and there is this idea, right? Because after all, on the 1 hour chart, we are still above the 21-hour EMA, right? Still going up. So as far as I know, if we break today's high, making another pivot point on the 1 hour chart, we may just seek the $32 again. Okay, there are no clear resistance levels on SoFi right now. So 32 is our next technical target. If you ask me, Nathan, you want to see SoFi going up or down? Medium term wise, I would prefer to see a pullback, at least to the 21-day MA. Why? Because any pullback could be another buying opportunity. Very simple. SoFi is in bullish territory. On the weekly chart is insanely bullish. Okay, we just saw a bottom signal last week. So hey, any pullback is going to be another possible buying opportunity. So that's how I see SoFi right now. Okay, I'm looking at it very closely. If I see the opportunity, yes, I'm gonna share on our Telegram channel. Now, the so expected Meta. All right, you guys are asking for, I listen to you. Okay, let's analyze Meta today. We see Meta above the 21-day EMA, right? So it is in bullish territory. I would prefer to see higher highs, higher lows, all right? But maybe that's precisely what's going to happen next, because we see Meta. Let's see the 1 hour chart. We saw the idea of a possible head and shoulders yesterday, but today we see the total rejection of this pattern. We are above the 21-hour EMA. So if we see the breakout of this key point right here, let me review to you, 648. That's the key point you want to see Meta breaking. If we see that going on, yes, there is the idea of another bullish flag over here, suggesting another rally. Okay, a rally to which resistance level? The next one, let me update this key point over here. The next one is 680. Okay, so that's gonna be our next major resistance level if we see the breakout of the 648. All right. But Nathan, what if we lose the 637? Okay, in this case, we're gonna reject. We are going to totally reject the idea of a bullish case, and then we may see another pullback, maybe to the to the 580s, right? Or maybe 570s over here, maybe in the worst case scenario to close this gap, right? Maybe, we don't know yet. Only a breakout of either 648 or 637. Only a clear breakout of one of these two key points could bring something new. For now, it is too soon to tell. Okay, if you ask me, Meta, it's not my favorite stock right now, precisely because this range is too tight. Okay, we may see false breakouts very easily. I have many other stocks looking better, okay, but Meta is a promising one. I agree, it's a promising one. Okay, but it's not necessarily my style. All right, so remember, if you want to trade with me, join our Telegram channel. Link is in this video description. And if you are still watching this video, consider, truly, seriously, consider subscribing, because we are here every single day talking about many stocks, sharing many ideas. All right, probably you like technical analysis. No one is crazy enough to watch a technical analysis video for half an hour right now, okay, without liking the content. Okay, so subscribe, like this video. I always appreciate your support, your audience, my dear friends. Stay safe. See you guys tomorrow as usual. Bye bye.